ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday, and I hope that you guys had a great week and that your weekend has started well as well. So I'm going to get into shouting your names out immediately. We've got Tammy, Laurie, Mark, Billy, Ginny, Teresa, Cindy, 123 Rockchild, Debbie, Lee, and Bob's in there as well. B is in there, Gail, Charlie, Bella, Mary, Ro, Tammy, Laura, Johnny, Moondog, Joy, Ginny, and Gail going through. Hello, thank you for joining me. And the reason that I laughed a little bit saying B was because in the past, I know how B's name is pronounced, but when I'm in the middle of the live stream doing lots of different things, sometimes I just read things as they're written and have mispronounced B's name, I think last time, but then I've made a mental note to make sure that I say it correctly. So anyway, thank you everybody for joining me on this Saturday night. As for the Gremlin report, we don't really have too much, so So we will see what happens as the live stream progresses, because sometimes when nothing's going wrong, I get a little bit suspicious that something is going to go wrong totally randomly, but I always feel like I've forgotten to do something. Tonight is no exception, and it's always when you click the button to go live, then you think, before you click it, you think, have I done everything? But anyway, we always find out during the live stream if I've forgotten to do something or not. Sometimes we get away with it, but anyway, yes, tonight's live stream, we're going to be having a picture corner, we're going to be having troll corner, and whether we have a FilJam or not is up to you guys hitting that thumbs up. So if you could leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated, because we are aiming for 495. Does that say? I think it does. It's a little bit small on my screen, so it does look like almost 485, but I think we are up to 495 now. So a ridiculous total. We'll see if we get anywhere close tonight. On Tuesday we got to 490, and that was a close run thing. It happened right at the end of the live stream, which meant that we just jumped straight into the jam, but we will see what happens tonight. So if you could leave a thumbs up, that would be great. Right, yes, hopefully everything's working. Somebody commented, or it's just gone through, oh, Cheryl says, sound echo, is it just me? Everything sounds okay from my side of the microphone, and yeah, that's normally set up as it is. As I said, I don't know if anything's going to be going wrong. The other microphone is turned off, so I always, well, remember, I was going to say I always forget, but I always remember now, thanks to you guys telling me to turn on the other microphone, so that might have a bit of a echo type effect to it, but that's off, so hopefully it's okay. Oh, Deb says sounds fine to me, so oh, it seems like it's okay for everybody. So this is just one of those isolated issues, and sometimes that can happen when you're watching something on the internet, and I don't know why it sometimes gets repeated, whether it's getting repeated through a mic or something in a laptop or your phone, whatever you're watching it on, but as long as it's good for most of you. Bella says, I don't hear an echo either, so good. We will continue, and we'll get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this all possible in the first place. So a massive shout out to you lovely people at the bottom of the screen. You know who you are. They make everything possible, and they are the foundation of everything that I do on the channel. The analysis videos, the live streams, of course, and everything that I've done in the past, all the cover videos, the things that we look at during these live streams. So yeah, massive shout out to you guys for all of your support. If you guys want to get involved yourselves, you can head over to patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus, and you can join in there, even become a free member if you want to just join in. And that's where I do upload the link to the live streams, so those are public over there as well. So if you miss a live stream, then you can grab it on Patreon. I think sometimes finding everything on YouTube can be a little bit more difficult, so yeah, especially the live streams, for some reason they don't seem to be listed, or at least when I'm trying to access them to upload it and put the link over on Patreon, it's always more difficult to find. So that's why I do it straight after the live streams. So yes, you can head over there if you want to. So I can see that there have already been a couple of donations, so thank you guys for those. And this is the point at which I say, and let's get the likeometer up on screen so we can see how we're doing there. Almost at 250 likes. So thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up, and if you can keep on doing that, would be great to get us closer to that 495 total. So I'm just thinking, if we go to 250, that'd be 255 more likes we're looking for, I do believe. So yeah, 254 now. That's the maths out of the way. So yeah, if you could leave a thumbs up, that would be great. But we have to get up the donations tab on screen, because you don't have to donate, just watching is fantastic. Maybe hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, introduce yourself, especially if you're watching the live stream and you are here right now. Introduce yourself into that live chat room, because that's just how we will get to know each other, and I get to know your usernames and Sometimes people have pictures on their usernames as well. And if you are a Facebook user, you can head over to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group. That's a page on Facebook where a lot of the live chat room hang out between live streams, and that's where people upload pictures if they have any merch, and then Laura links me to those pictures from that particular page. So yes, that's something that you can do. Get involved over there. And if you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, and I haven't plugged the mug in ages, but there's a plug of the mug. If you want to get your hands on any merchandise, then there's a tray underneath this video that you can click on any of the items. But if you don't have a tray underneath this video, then there's a link in the description below to the spring.com store, and you can get your hands on the merch that way. So getting back to it, you don't have to donate. Yeah, just watching is fantastic. And by the way, let's get this on screen. And it is 381,000 subscribers that we have now hit. So thank you guys for subscribing as well, hitting that notification bell, all that kind of stuff. It is very much appreciated. As I always say, we will keep on pushing forward and see where we end up. But we've got quite a nice gathering going on the channel at the moment. So yeah, 381,000, a ridiculous number. But yeah, it's great that a few more people are checking out the videos. So let's get rid of that now. I'm just going to address the super chat donations. Before I do that, I think it's important that you know that if you do donate, if you can't resist, then between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which you can find in the description below. So Paul has donated $5, so thank you for that, Paul, and the message is, hooray! 381,000 subscribers, well deserved and earned. Thank you, Phil, for this happy place. Let's spike those likes, all y'all. So thank you for that, Paul. Great idea as well. You can hit that thumbs up. That would be great. Vicky has donated $5 as well. So thank you for that, Vicky. And this is Vicky's third super chat donation because it's got a big number 3 next to it. And Vicky says, keep it up. Or should I say the pear person. Now, we're going to call him, she, it, them, whatever it is, a pear person. That's always the safest way to refer to things nowadays. So there you go. And they are working out. So yeah, I'll try to keep up with Mr. Pear Person, who's doing an unlimited amount of bicep curls. So, I mean, that's not something that I would recommend. Well, you're going to burn out at some point, but this is the mistake that I made when I was maybe 16 or 17, because I used to watch, like, there was this documentary called Pumping Iron, and it had Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, and I watched that documentary, and I mean, it was made well before I was 16 or 17, but yeah, I watched that documentary, and then, you know, looked into bodybuilding, how to build muscle, all that kind of stuff. I'd already worked out quite a lot. I think I started working out when I was 14. So yeah, I already had an interest in it, but I thought, oh, you know, how do I, you know, get more muscle and all this kind of stuff. And what they don't tell you is that building muscle is not to do with doing lots and lots of weights, you know, and doing as much as you can. So no word of a lie, because I wasn't getting any more muscle mass, I went to the gym every day, like as an experiment, and did the same muscle group. So I did like biceps and back, and I did it every day for a week, and then I tried to do it the second week, and I thought, well, first of all, I'm burnt out, so I can't do any more. And, you know, second of all, my arms look exactly the same as they did before I started. So yeah, I didn't realise at that stage. And I think this is just about understanding your body. But my arms, they only the, you know, I can't work out at the moment because of my kind of tendon issue, which is getting a lot better. I'm still doing my physio for that. But my arms only need to be done once a week. And I mean, that goes for every muscle group that I have. So it means that I do 3 sets once a week. So that's like 18 reps a week. That's all they need. So the fact that, again, when you look at all of these bodybuilders, because they're doing steroids, that's the thing that they don't mention, or growth hormone or testosterone, which means that it pushes your body beyond its limit. So normally where you do, 6 reps and you might do 3 sets, people that are taking, performance enhancing drugs are doing 6 sets or 8, and a set is like a block of reps. So you can do 6 times, 6 reps, or 12 times. Sometimes they do 12 sets. And that's just because of, going past that natural limit. Normally, that would be impossible. And they're doing it every day. So this is why when you look at, muscle building magazines, and it had all the, Arnold Schwarzenegger's workouts, and it had like 12 sets of biceps, 12 sets of back, and this is all in the same session. So that's not going to work. It will work if you take some kind of performance enhancing drugs, because that then allows you to do that amount of sets. But anyway, so that's it. For me, I didn't need 12 sets a day. I needed 3 sets a week, and that was it. So that's the mistake I made. And the guy stopped now. So he's not doing quite rightly. He's listening to what I'm saying. And the pair person has stopped exercising. So quite right. When you stop exercising, you've then got to make sure you get enough protein in your diet so that the protein rebuilds the muscle. And this is the other thing, that if your muscles ache after you've exercised, it's a good thing, because it means that, the muscle fibers have been torn. And then when they get fixed by the protein, they become stronger, and you get hypertrophy, which is something that means your muscle gets bigger. So it's a good sign. So I'm very much looking forward to getting into lifting more weight, because I'm doing the physio exercises, and they're not bad, and I'd say that I'm probably still okay for kind of muscle mass. I've still got kind of a bicep hanging around here or there somewhere. But it would be good to kind of get back to kind of, training, getting back into the swing of things. But I've got to be patient. That's the one thing that I've learned about tendons and ligaments, because when I had my scan, they said that there was damage to the ligament as well. So that's it. Got to be patient. Anyway, let's get back to it. So thank you, Vicky, for that donation. And we're going to be jumping into the PayPal window, because we've had some donations in there. And it is Donald who has donated £4. So thank you for that, Donald. And that is a straight up donation. So thank you for that. And Cindy has donated £30, so thank you for that, Cindy. And the message is: hi Phil, any updates on the new Mugabe? Did you make your colour and engraving selections? How about an update on the Ryan Roxy podcast? Thanks. So thank you for that, Cindy. And yes, the Mugabe guitar is on its way, and I've just decided to go for the black version, rather than there was another version which was a cream version. But I don't know, I felt like maybe the cream, because it wasn't pure white or brilliant white, is maybe more of a understated colour that I thought might not go with my white and black that I've already got. You can see the gem behind there, which is kind of white and little bits of black. There's my Ibanez up on the wall there, which is black. You've got the Fender Strat, which is black and white. So I thought I'd go for either black or white, but because it was like cream, I've gone for black. So and in terms of the engraving, it's just a little placard type thing that's on it that will just say Wings of Pegasus. So it's not going to be anything like on the neck like the old country players, or not even the old country players, but country players who have their name embedded into the fretboard. It's not going to be anything like that. It's just something on the bottom of the guitar. I assume from what I've seen from the pictures that I've been sent. So yes, that's that. And the Ryan Roxy podcast, there's no news on that at the moment, but as soon as I know anything, of course, I'll report to you guys over on Patreon. And I'm quite busy behind the scenes sorting out my side project that I'm doing at the moment, which I've got to wait a bit of time until things clear to then tell you guys about it and then push forward with that. So I'm quite busy as always. I mean, the channel's busy as well, so that keeps me on my toes with the messages. Another thing just to mention about the messages over on Patreon, because they're still a bit weird. I'm still getting told that there's a lot more messages than there should be, or that there are. I'm getting told that I've got a new message when it's me replying to somebody. And because I reply to everyone, of course, that means that I've got a huge amount of messages that it says I've got, but I haven't. I've got to kind of look through all of my replies to then find one that I haven't replied to. So yeah, it is a bit of a pain, but I will get through those as efficiently as I can. So if I've taken a little bit time or a little bit more time to answer a message over there, that'll be why. But I think I'm pretty much there with it. So obviously after tonight's live stream, I'll get back to those messages. So thank you for that, Cindy. And we've had another donation from Nicole, who's donated £10. So thank you for that, Nicole. And the message is, hello, Phil. I plan to play your music, Persistence, for a little village festivity. I think it will be good for you too. Good weekend in your nice country. Lots of love. Rock always, Nicole from France. So thank you for that, Nicole. And let me pop into the next one from Dawn, and this is £25. Thank you, Dawn, for that donation. And the message is catch up crew for me tonight. I hope everyone is spiking those likes. So great idea there from Dawn. If you could hit that thumbs up, that would be great. We're aiming for a new record. I didn't even mention that, but I think we all know now that 495 would be a new record for a Saturday night live stream on the channel. So yeah, we'll see if we can get lots of thumbs up going. That would be great. We'll see where we end up, and then we'll have a FilJam at the end of the live stream. So thank you for that, Dawn. And if you are watching in the future, if you're part of the catch-up crew, you can keep on hitting that thumbs up. Really does help the live stream to get out there and for the channel to grow on the whole. So Tammy has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. The message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 381,000 subscribers. You're doing an outstanding job. Keep on rocking. So thank you for that, Tammy. And I will attempt to keep on rocking as much as humanly possible. But yeah, it's keep on rocking and keep on working. That's a huge part of it. So, but thank you for that, Tabby. And Laura has donated £5.26. Thank you for that, Laura. And the message is, hi Phil, did you play a musical instrument in high school and or with the high school band where you attended school? If so, what was it? If not, given the choice at that time period, would it have been a woodwind, brass, or percussion instrument? So thank you for that, Laura. And yeah, at school I didn't do anything musical apart from sneak into the music room when there wasn't a lesson, and if somebody had guitar that day, then because I didn't have a guitar, I would sneakily go in and just play with their guitars, especially if there was an electric guitar, because that meant that I could plug it into the amp and have it very quiet. But yeah, for me it was great to just play the guitar. But then I started playing my sister's acoustic guitar, and yeah, my sister got an acoustic guitar and never played it, so that's why I started kind of messing around on it. But yeah, before that I didn't have a guitar, so I would play the kids' guitars at school. And music wasn't something that I enjoyed. The lessons weren't what I liked. It was just the way that it was taught. I didn't like it at all. So yeah, I didn't have any inclination to do it. It's only after school and just through playing the guitar that I didn't relate the two things. That I thought that me playing the guitar, I thought, oh, this is really cool, I enjoy doing this. But music I saw as writing things down and having to put dots on a bit of paper and join them up, and then play a keyboard, and then you've got to try and do it at the same time. And my sister had piano lessons, so that's what she was doing, and that didn't interest me at all. So, and just the fact that that's how it was taught at my school just meant that I totally lost interest with literally the first lesson. But then I picked up the guitar and I enjoyed working out things like hearing something and working out where it was on the guitar. So I just kind of followed that, and then later on I then made that link that, oh right, so this playing the guitar is music, it goes with other things, and yeah, I can play music. And yeah, I think it's a huge thing. When I was listening to my dad's vinyls, you know, being able to listen to the music and listen to the guitar lines and then play them yourself, I think for me that was a huge bonus for how I learned to play the guitar, because rather than somebody playing something and then you needing for them to write it down or get a copy of the sheet music, if you can just play it naturally from hearing it, I think it's a huge advantage to have. So yeah, I think that the way that I did learn to do it is probably all destiny in the end, is probably the best way for me to do it. And yeah, I mean, I think learning from the sound, because music is sound, if you learn from the sound first, then everything else is easy because you already are starting to understand the language of music rather than, yeah, as I've said in the past, if people want to read from sheet music, is absolutely fine, and you know, just playing other people's songs all the time as well, you know, that's absolutely fine as well. So yeah, for me it was very much, you know, wanting to create stuff, but also just wanting to be able to play something from hearing it, because that's why what I enjoy doing, and hence why now when I play is very much a conscious thing, and that's what I enjoy doing, just kind of singing through the guitar, and yeah, not worrying about, like with the FilJams, not worrying about hearing a backing track first before playing to it, and just see what happens. So anyway, thank you for that, Laura. And Debbie has donated £10 as well. So thank you for that, Debbie. And the message is, hi Phil, congrats on 381,000 subscribers. Loved the Anthony Newley Goldfinger analysis. What do you think was Anthony's greatest vocal strength on his version of this song? Thanks, you are amazing. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that. And yeah, I mean, it certainly was a unique, I say version of it, but it wasn't really a version because it was the original demo. It was just a unique song and performance. And what I'd say was Anthony's greatest vocal strength in his performance was the fact that it was personal and it was unique. And I mean, that's all you can really ask for out of an artist, but especially a singer, for somebody to put their own stamp on a particular performance. And that's certainly the case with that particular demo and the way that Anthony performed it. And it does have elements in there where, you know, like his vibrato, for example, that, you know, being wider, it did suit Shirley Bassey's voice, but he definitely did it in a slightly different way to how Shirley performed it. So I would say, yeah, his greatest vocal strength was just being unique with it and being himself and not trying to sing it, you know, really accurately pitch-wise, all those kinds of things, because then it's the more you focus on that, as we know with pitch correction, the more the notes are stuck to tuning, or if you're really trying to hit pitches all the time, then it becomes more and more bland as a performance, because you might as well be listening to a keyboard, whereas when you're listening to somebody who's doing something like Anthony did, you know, putting a lot of personality into it and not really worrying about the pitch, but more worrying about the storytelling quality of it, then it's interesting to listen to as a story. So yeah, I would say that was his greatest vocal strength, and it's a strength that any vocalist can have. And I've said this before about, you know, singing songs in your range and understanding your voice and knowing where your high note is, and, you know, being able to sing different artists' songs. And some people think, oh, I can't sing that song because it's too high for me. But they're not transposing it for their voice. They're not bringing it to where their voice sits. It might be too low for you to sing, so then you bring it higher, and it might be too high, so you bring it lower. You got to know where your range is to begin with, to then know where you're going to be singing that song. So yeah, that's something. I mean, when you're thinking of any song and a vocalist who has a different range to you, when you imagine them singing, their voice sits in that particular place. But say, for example, Love Is in the Air. So you can sing the melody and go, love is in the air, and you can sing it there, but that's not where it is. And this is the point, that when you sing any song in your head or even out loud, if you're in the shower and you're singing a song, you don't know what key you're singing that in. You're just singing the melody from the song, and it will be probably 99% chance it's not going to be in the key of the original song, but you're singing it where it's comfortable. So that's the way to think of it. So take any song that you want and sing it where it's comfortable, just sing it naturally, and you might get to a point where it reminds me of a comedy sketch where it is Alan Partridge, who's Steve Coogan, you might know his name as the comedian, but he was going to be singing on Valentine's Day for his girlfriend, and it was just an impromptu thing, and he got up, and this is a comedy show, by the way, it's not real life. He got up with the band and he started singing, and he went, why do birds suddenly appear? And he started much too high. So then he had to stop and say, oh, no, bring it down lower. And they couldn't get it right. So he just said to everyone, oh, well, you get the idea. And then he left the stage. But that's a great example of knowing your range and where to place it. Because there, you want to be, if I'm, singing a song now, and if I went, why do birds down there, you think, oh no, that's a little bit too low. So then I go, why do birds suddenly appear? And you think, oh, that's better. Na 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 na. And you feel like, oh, and those high notes I can get now. So you start to figure it out. And then obviously, you've got to practice using your voice and getting used to, where the notes are higher, what you have to do in order to access them, get that muscle memory going. But that's fundamentally what singing is. So yeah, his greatest vocal strength, back to the question, was being unique and just singing, in his range. And like I said, that's the greatest vocal strength of anybody, just singing, using your own voice. And I think a lot of people give up with singing because they try and do that, why do birds? And they realize, oh, I can't reach it. But they don't realise that the reason you can't reach it is because you're singing it in the wrong place. You're not singing it with your voice. And I mean, ironically, Karen Carpenter's voice being a contralto would have been quite low for female anyway. But having said that, for most guys, if you're a low baritone, then even singing, anywhere towards kind of, the high bari range, getting into the tenor range, you're going to struggle with that. So just bring it down to where you sing. And that's where the body in your voice will be as well. Anyway, I could talk about that kind of thing all night. But thank you, Vera, as well, who has donated £15 and 4 pence. And the message is, hi, Phil. I am curious, as usual. I have been wondering how involved you, Dad, was with music. Did he ever perform or sing? So thank you for that, Vera. And yes, my dad did lots of different things. One of which was, being in a band. And he did have that desire to, I think everyone has that desire to, be in a band and tour the world and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the thing is that he did lots of other things. Like I played football at quite a high level, and he played football at quite a high level. But he played in his 20s and his 30s, and truth be told, his 40s and his 50s and his 60s. So it's something that he's always done, playing football. Whereas I gave up football when I was 20 because I thought I enjoy playing the guitar more and I enjoy music more. So I want to focus on that. And if there's something that I want to do full time, I want it to be music. I didn't want it to be football. I didn't really enjoy playing football that much. When it gets hyper competitive, I wasn't really into that. So yeah, I decided to give that up so that I could spend all the time on it. And I think that's something that, in my opinion, you have to do. You can't do something full time if you're doing 3 or 4 or 5 other things. It's like juggling too many balls. So yeah, I just focused on that one thing. But yeah, my dad was in a band, and then I don't know, when he was in his maybe 40s or 50s, he did the very occasional gig, maybe 1 or 2 that I saw, which is just like a cover gig for his workmates, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't think he was, really heavily into it in terms of, kind of gigging week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, because he was working as well, and he had a couple of children. So yeah, you can blame me for that. Children do take up a lot of time. So yeah, my dad did play in a band and all that kind of stuff, but he's been interested in music his whole life. So yeah, he plays bass and guitar, and sings and plays keys and drums. I mentioned that as well. So yeah, he's done it all recreationally and kind of never done it professionally, but yeah, he did lots of different things. So I think that's probably my theory as to why is part of that, but also the fact of having kids, that once that happens, yeah, your future is very much now about providing for kids rather than chasing a dream and leaving your family. So thank you for that, Vera. And right, we are up to date in the PayPal window. So thank you as well to Sue, who has donated $9.99. And the pear person is back at it with the bicep curls. But Sue says, can we get a dono train rolling to celebrate 381,000 subs? All aboard. So thank you for that, Sue. And there are little pictures there. Maybe it's a picture of a train. I can't tell because it's too small. But thank you for that donation. And Not Visible has donated $20. So thank you for that. Not Visible, we can see you indeed. That is a straight up donation without a message. So thank you for that. Right. Let's keep organised. Let's have a quick check on the likeometer. We are at 383 likes so far, which means we're looking for 112. I think the reason I say that, going up at the end of my sentence, is because I'm not sure whether that is the correct number or not, but I think it is. So 111 more likes required now. So if you can hit that thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated. And that's another thing that you see or you hear quite a lot. And again, going back to Judge Judy, whenever somebody goes up at the end of their sentence, Judge Judy will say, "Are you asking me a question?" And I seem to think the same thing. Like when people are talking and they go up at the end, it's like it's a question, but it actually isn't. And yeah, whenever there are adverts, there are some adverts where the person talking is always doing that. And there are some adverts on YouTube and it's for counselling. And they're saying things like, I can't continue to do it because I kind of annoy myself. But they say things like, whoever thought we're talking to somebody is not a good idea. But sometimes you need to talk to somebody and you think, ow, stop asking me so many questions that aren't questions. So anyway, let's put that to bed. It's just one of those things that when somebody does that, I notice it for some reason, like Judge Judy notices it. I guess it's because it's not how I talk and it's not how any of my family talks. It really stands out. But anyway, back to it. So 394, so it's 101 more likes to go. If you can leave a thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated. Then we'll have the FilJam at the end of tonight's live stream. But we are I was going to say we are about to jump into maybe Troll Corner. Before we do, there is a vote for tonight's cover video, so I haven't mentioned that yet. And it's between All Right Now, which I can see is in the lead, and Parisian Walkways. So whichever one of those you want to hear, have a click on that at the top of the live chat room. And I think it might be All Right Now, which was requested over on Patreon. And I feel like we've seen that one relatively recently. So yeah, I don't know, but it got requested, so there it is. Right, we're over 400 now. 404 likes so far. Will be a new record if we hit 495. Let's keep those fingers crossed for that. At the end of the live stream, then we'll have our FilJam. So Colleen says, could you have could you do an analysis of the harmonies of Crosby, Stills and Nash? They are on the channel, and I think multiple times somewhere. So yeah, with of course Neil Young, I think maybe at least in one video or maybe two. Yeah, of all four. But yes, certainly Crosby, Stills and Nash, just as a three, will be there somewhere because they've been requested in the past. So yeah, check that out. Yeah, you can search the channel for those videos. So anyway, back to what I was about to say. Yeah, we're going to be jumping into Troll Corner, and it might be quite a busy Troll Corner tonight because there have been maybe 3 or 4. So we will jump into it just quickly. Karen's donated $10. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is, hi Phil, thank you for the Randy Travis analysis. I worked in the medical field, and in his case, AI was a good thing. I heard him when he was young, and the AI sounded very much like his natural voice. So thank you for that, Karen. And yeah, that certainly was kind of the other side of AI and what it can do. But we're going to be jumping into Troll Corner now, so I'll see you guys in 6 seconds. Rock! So I've got these on my phone, I think. Okay, right, here we are. Right, I can access them. So this first one was from a comment underneath the Bert Lahr performance when he's the lion from The Wizard of Oz. And this person said, that was not singing. And in the video, I'm explaining about him controlling his vibrato and doing it really slowly and doing it really quickly, and doing it really quickly is really difficult, but he could still do all of that. Anyway, this person said, that was not singing, that was a performance. It is terrible singing the Cowardly Lion does in the movie. Vibrato just happens. He was forcing it. Oh, it is not a skill, it is the lack of it. And I mean, this is interesting for many reasons, because I've heard this before from some classical singers, but classically trained singers, who have said that vibrato shouldn't be under control. It should just happen. And I mean, I replied to this person just saying that any skill in the world that you're learning, the more you can control it, the more you can control it means the more skilled you are at it. And that's just what skill is. It's gaining control. So yeah, I said that, yeah, there are singers who have a natural vibrato and they can't control it, but I see somebody who can sing who can control their vibrato as more skilled, because they can do more with it. They might have a natural vibrato and a natural speed that they can use, like with Bert's voice. There were tiny sections in that performance that I pointed out where I said that sounds like it's his natural vibrato in terms of its speed, frequency, the pitch it covered. But then when he's putting on a different vibrato, that's not natural, but he's got the skill in order to do that. So yeah, it's an interesting point of view that I have heard people say before, that great singers shouldn't be able to control their vibrato. And that's something that I have referenced in the past, that some singers who can't control their vibrato, when they're young, it can be more subtle, and it's almost like as they age, it gets more and more uncontrollable and covers more pitch, to a point where, they might go, and their voice is so wide now, it's difficult to know where the note is, because it disappears into the uncontrollable vibrato. And it can really run away with some singers because they've never controlled it in the first place. Then yeah, they're not able to stop it doing whatever it's doing. And yeah, well, to my mind, if your voice is now uncontrollable and effectively it's meaning you can't sing a note anymore, I would rather have control of that technique, so that once it starts to get a little bit out of control, you can rein it in and think, okay, now I'm just going to make my vibrato, covering a little bit less pitch, so that it's more accurate to the note that I want to put across to an audience so that they know exactly what pitch I am singing, rather than just going and not knowing where that note is at all. So yeah, that I would always want to control vibrato, and that's what I worked out when I was learning to sing, was so I can demonstrate it as well. So I can go you can slow it down, and you can go and you can speed it up. And you can have a subtle vibrato. You can have a wider vibrato. So yeah, it's something that on guitar I spent a hell of a long time perfecting it and making sure that I could do any kind of vibrato that I wanted to with that same approach, speed, frequency, pitch. And I learned to sing in the same way that I learned to play the guitar in terms of the way that I was approaching it. So I thought, well, first of all, I've got to hit pitches accurately, because that's something that the guitar does for you. So yeah, when you're playing with frets, that's already sorted. So yeah, now once you can hit the notes, that's the first thing to focus on. But then the second thing I focused on was vibrato, learning to get the note to sing and control it. So yeah, that was the first comment, which I thought was interesting because I have heard that before. This other one is, get a, and then F word, life. It's not the actual F word, but they've spelt it so that it is, but it isn't. Why not shoot Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny while you're at it? And this was under the Eagles video, where I'm just pointing out that it's the same vocal from one performance to the next, therefore being a backing track. And he said, you need to get a life. Over-analysis of legendary bands is only made by fools who never made it themselves. You really, and then thumbs down 3 times. So I replied to that person with the same reply that I give to anybody that leaves a comment like that. They don't understand, appreciate, realise that their favourite artists over-analysed artists like you wouldn't believe. They would listen to so many different singers, or if you like a guitarist, they would listen to so many different guitarists and analyze them and over-analyze them to find out what they're doing so that they can try and do the same thing themselves in their own way. So analysis, and I also said that analysis is the only way that the human race evolves. So it's a fundamental thing that we need to do, and we have done, and we can't help but do. When we analyse why something worked and why something didn't work, we always then go with the thing that worked, and we keep on trying to do that. Keep doing the things that are working. So yeah, that fact that you couldn't appreciate that, but I think maybe it's also from a non-musician perspective that they don't realise that the only way that you get to being seen as a great musician yourself is using all of the influences that you have analysed. It is such a natural thing to do as a musician, and certainly something that I did when I say about listening to Jimi Hendrix and Gary Moore and all these different players. So yeah, and I was saying about Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. I also said that with Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, you already know that they're not going to be charging you for their services. They're totally open about their services. Obviously, I was being a bit sarcastic, but this was saying about how much people were being charged for tickets to see the Eagles, but then not realising that, there's going to be a backing track going on at some point, and it's not an actual live vocal. Whereas, yeah, everyone's pretty clear with Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, what's going on. There's no deception there, or there's no misleading information or assumptions going on. The lay of the land there. Whereas, yeah, the whole point in the video was that a lot of people who bought tickets then messaged me saying that they couldn't believe that it was being done, and that they weren't told about it, and that there wasn't that transparency. So anyway, there you go. There's another one. And we've got 2 more. Another one says, why do people waste so much time, that's so with lots of O's, trying to prove your points? They're older now. Oh, this is on the Eagles as well. They're older now and may not have the chops of the 70s, so back off and give them their due respect. So again, for me, it comes down to charging money for, a service that you're then actually not doing what people think you're doing. And, it's a really dangerous game to say, look, if somebody could do something, but they can't do it anymore, just let them charge what they like, and just let them not tell you that they're not doing it. Because, you know, I've always given that example about, you know, what you don't know, it's like what you don't know doesn't hurt you. It's like, well, it does hurt me because I spent $2,000 on tickets for something that I thought was something else. You know, it's like, you know, buying a Rolex, as I've said in the past, that somebody gives you what looks like a Rolex and you pay them £2,000 and they say, there you go. You go, oh, great. And then somebody takes it off you, or you take it to a shop because the battery's gone, and they say, this isn't a real Rolex, it's a fake. They say, you know, and the person who bought it isn't going to say, well, I don't mind, it looks exactly the same, you know, and I spent $2,000. So give the fraudsters their due, because they did it really close to this Rolex. So I accept it. You know, you've got to take your hats off to the people that did this really close replica. You know, it's not the same thing. That you're not getting what you're paying for, which is, yeah, as I said, it's a really dangerous game to start thinking that, right, if somebody's not doing something and you're not being told about it and you're paying for something that you're not actually getting, what's the problem with that? And I think there is a problem with that. And I know, like I said, because I've got the emails, other people think there's a problem with that as well. So, but in the music industry, there's nothing with a Rolex, of course, that's fraud, and you can go back to the people that sold you that, you know, they could get investigated, they could get arrested, there's all that in place. But for the music industry, there isn't that. There's no recourse for you thinking, well, I want my money back. What do? There's nothing you can do. So yeah, that's just unfortunately the state of play at the moment. I said about working at things behind the scenes, but yeah, for the moment, that is the case. Right, so this is under the same video, so maybe this video's got more views over the last, week or whatever. And if somebody says, you're being a massive idiot about this. Yeah, and that's about the Eagles thing. So it was just a requested analysis video, and I'm just telling you what's going on. It's just objective data. So it's not really, if anything, I would say it's the opposite of being an idiot, because I'm backing up. And this is what that other comment said. Why do you spend so much time explaining it and proving your point? Because you have to prove whatever point you're making. Otherwise, it's hearsay. It's somebody's opinion. And I can say, oh, I think that's going on. You know, you've got to give the evidence as to why it's going on objectively, so that, you know, then you're giving people a fact, and then what people, you know, do about that fact, that knowledge, is up to them. So anyway, there we go. That is Troll Corner for tonight, and it was a bit of a busy Troll Corner, so we're going to have to move things along with tonight's live stream, but let's get out of here. See you in 6 seconds. Rock! So, it is almost 5 to midnight here, so we're going to be taking a bit of a detour into probably tonight's cover video. And by the way, if you can hit that thumbs up, that'd be massively appreciated. We're looking for 44 more people to hit that thumbs up to get us to a new record for a Saturday night live stream of 495 likes. If we hit that total, we will be having a FilJam. Quick look over. The FilJam is 9 minutes and 6 seconds. The long FilJams always mean it's a bit of a tricky situation to get all of the likes in order to then have the FilJam. But if we do reach that total, then we are going to be having that FilJam at the end of tonight's live stream. And Donna Leah says, any picture corner tonight? Yes, there will be. And we'll jump into that immediately after tonight's cover video, which looks like it's going to be all right now. Again, I mean, it does feel like maybe last week or the week before that we had this, so we get to watch it all over again. I hope you guys enjoy this. Obviously, it's my version of it, and I'll see you guys after for Picture Corner. Rock!
There she stood in the street, smiling from her her home to my place, watching every move on her face. And she said, look, what's your game, baby? Are you trying to put me in shape? And I said, slow, don't go so fast. Don't you think that love can last? And she said, love, Lord above, now you're trying to trick me into love. Ow! Alright now, baby, it's alright now. Alright now, baby, it's alright now.
And there we have it. That was my version of All Right Now. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And I think it was Joe that went through saying clean the fretboard on that bass. And the fretboard on the bass is fine. It's just the effect that I put on the video that makes the grain of the wood come out. So yeah, I'm quite strict on my guitars and keeping the fretboard clean. And I know that some people say, oh, having a dirty fretboard improves the tone, but I think that's just a little bit tongue-in-cheek. It's just people that can't be bothered to clean their guitars, really. And some people just like to, make them dirty and keep them dirty, but I like to keep them clean. Every time I change my strings, I always clean the fretboard and reset it back to being as clean as possible. And then obviously a lot of playing later, it will get dirty, and then you have a string change and it's all fine. But anyway, Karen has donated $10, so thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, whoever told you to get a life should probably get a life themselves. It's crazy that some people are so filled with hate. So thank you for that, Karen. And yeah, that's the world that we live in, unfortunately. But I've always said that whatever somebody believes, there'll be somebody else who believes exactly the opposite and will be just as willing and go as far to back up their point and their belief. So yeah, it's something that I know that something that I say, somebody else is going to have the exact opposite opinion about what I'm saying. So you learn to deal with it, especially on YouTube and having a large-ish channel. You get used to this kind of thing going on. But thank you for that, Karen. And there has been another donation in the PayPal window, and this is from Carol, who's donated £7.52. So thank you for that. And the message is, hi Phil, this question is from my husband. He's curious if you have ever listened to K-pop and was curious what you think about that music. After watching many Korean TV shows, he's come to really like that music. Myself, I'm a classic rock fan. Thanks, rock. So thank you for that. And No, I don't really listen to K-pop apart from the bands that I have looked at. Recently, Fourth Impact, I looked at, and yeah, I think it's a genre of music that uses a lot of pitch correction and sometimes auto-tune, and I really like just kind of natural voices and hearing those wherever I can, even though it's difficult nowadays with pitch correction being an industry standard. But yeah, it's not something that I've necessarily really got into. So yeah, no, quick answer to that question. Thank you for that, Carol. So we are going to be jumping into Picture Corner now, and we're looking for 3 more people to hit the thumbs up to hit the new record for tonight's live stream, and it will be a Saturday night record. So we got 2. We've got a couple of double clicks going on. So I mean, sometimes I don't know whether that's YouTube updating it not quite right, but because sometimes this happens on my videos. I upload a video and it'll say something like, after the first few minutes, it'll say 75 views or 100 views, and when I refresh the screen it then says like 50 views. So it goes back in time. So yeah, I think it might do a little bit like that on the live streams, but we've now hit the goal, so 496, and yeah, even if we go backwards from here, we've hit the goal officially, so that's all that matters. We will be having a FilJam. It's going to be a long one, so let's jump into Picture Corner quickly so we can fit it all in. Right, now, as for this screen capture, I'm not sure where, as always, it's going to be random as to where it appears. And is off to the left-hand side tonight. So this is Suzanne, and let me try and grab this, just make it look a little bit better. So this is Suzanne, who has her Wings of Pegasus glass in there, and the message is, here's another goodie that came today. Happy summer. So thank you for that, Suzanne. And next we have Vicky, who has her Wings of Pegasus Persistence album, and the message is, yeah, got my CD today, so it goes on 11. Thanks, Phil, you rock. See you Sunday morning, Oz time. So thank you for that, Vicky, and yes, turn it up to 11. That's the only requirement for listening to my album. So thank you for that. And last but not least, we have, well, this is actually a couple. I was going to say a couple of people, but animals are almost like people. So we have Lynn here and Pluto are doing some modelling, and Lynn is on the right and Pluto is on the left, modelling. Not that a lot of people are called Pluto, but you never know. You do get some very strange names nowadays. I say strange, they're not strange, they're unique. That's the best way to describe them, but after places. And yeah, I'm sure that Pluto and the planets might be the next things on the list for people to call their children. But anyway, here we go. The message from Lynn is, Pluto is modelling his Wings of Pegasus bucket hat with some minor modifications for his ears. He has the patience of a toddler, and it was all I could do to prevent him from walking off. Oh, that's me wearing the original logo t-shirt. So thank you for that, Lynn. And yes, well, I'd say Pluto's doing a fantastic job with facing the camera and everything, even though he probably did want to run off, but might not be so comfortable for horses, but I do not know. They are predominantly made for humans. But thank you for that, Lynn. Right, and that is it for Picture Corner. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this, and it's back to me on screen. So we are now going to be jumping into the FilJam. I'm going to turn on the mic before I forget. Grab the guitar and make sure that's all in place. We also have a zoom out situation. Oh, where's the red dude? There he is. In order to make sure that I know that I've zoomed out. Right, I think that's good. Right, let's click on. I feel like I've forgotten to do something, but we're just going to jump into this. Because Patreon's changed the way the messages look, this is all a bit annoying now, but okay, I found the link. Let me click on that. Mute the advert. Okay, and skip that. Right, this is psychedelic groove guitar backing track in G, and this is from GDR Guitar. All one word, lowercase letters. If you guys want to check it out on YouTube, that's what we're going to be playing along to. And if you guys can let me know what the levels are like, that would be good. I'm just going to let this play, the backing track, see what the levels are like here, if I can hear it. Alright, here we go. Turn myself a bit, or turn myself up a bit. Oh, then perfect sound. Sounds cool. Sounds great. Sounds good. Right, I think this is all it's going to be. right, we're 5 minutes into it. We've got another 4 minutes of this going. Right, let's do a little bit of bar, see what happens with this. That's the ending. Ladies and gentlemen, a very relaxed psychedelic groove guitar backing track in G. So, yeah, there wasn't a lot going on with that backing track, and it just seemed to be the same thing over and over and over and over again. But there we have it, and in the major key as well. So, yeah, all of that kind of, not that I did any fills, but yeah, all in the major key, a little bit of a different one. So thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up and allowing the FilJam to happen. And yeah, thank you for sending that over my way, Joe. Right, we are going to be having another video tomorrow night, of course, and we're going to be live streaming on Tuesday night. Now, Tuesday night's live stream, we're going to be going for another new record, which is going to be the same total as tonight. So, if you can, join me on Tuesday night at 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. That would be very much appreciated, because we only just made it last time, so we need to magic up 5 more people from somewhere. So we will see what happens on Tuesday night. But we have hit the total for tonight, which is great. New record, as I said. So thank you guys for doing that. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, we're going to be live streaming on Tuesdays and Saturdays. If this is your first live stream, yeah, we do it twice a week at 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So you can have that in mind, but make sure that you are subscribed. Hit that notification bell to get notified for the videos and the live streams. And yeah, there's another video coming your way tomorrow night, of course. So all that's left for me to say, is we've had a couple of donations that I've just noticed. One in the super chat window from Totoro Porco, who's donated $5, so thank you for that. And the message was, "You serve up such delicious jams. You are a master of plectrum and pectin." So thank you for that, Totoro Porco. And there's been another donation over on PayPal. So let me just jump into this. Juliet has donated £30. Thank you for that, Juliet. And that is a straight up donation without a message with that. So thank you guys for the donations. As I say, you don't have to donate, but they are very much appreciated. And I think somebody else has just popped in. It's Diane, who has just popped in with the £7.52 donation in the PayPal window, just as I looked in there and was about to finish. So thank you for that, Diane, as well. So now that we're up to date with everything, all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible. Thank you, Lisa A, for that donation. $10 in the super chat window, and Lisa A says, "I stopped in to get cheered up, fell and shattered my nose, had it rest yesterday, good to see you again." So thank you for that, Lisa. I thought you meant that you stopped in for the live stream to get cheered up and shattered your nose somehow while watching. But yeah, hopefully the nose gets better. Thank you, Lisa A, for that donation, and yeah, for tuning in. Luckily, and fingers crossed, I've not hurt my nose. Well, I probably have hurt my nose, maybe in a game of football or something, going up for a header or getting somebody's elbow, but never broken it. So hopefully it's all right. And something that my dad is an expert at breaking his nose. I don't know how many times he's done it, probably 3 or 4. But yeah, I can imagine it's very painful, because even when you get hit on your nose a little bit, it's quite painful. So yeah, I hope that feels better soon. And Jan has donated 10 Norwegian kroner as well. So thank you for that, Jan. And that's a straight up donation. And all that's left for me to say now is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you at tomorrow night's video, and hopefully on the live stream on Tuesday night if you guys can make it. So yes, have a great weekend and start your week next week, and I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!